2015 and a half series Rockwood Hardside pop-up model A122S here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. I say the 15 and a half because there were a couple mid-year updates that came through, and you know, it's nice stuff to look at. Like, they've updated the graphics package a little bit, they made the Rockwood name a little more visible, they touched up the color package a little bit. It's a little more of an oyster as opposed to a champagne now, little things like that. So if you see one that's the darker style, you know it's the older style that has been sitting around the dealer's lot a little bit longer. In the Hardside campers like this, the Hardside pop-ups, there are several different options. So why choose Rockwood over another brand? You know, everything's good for different reasons. Let's look at the things that Rockwood does really well. Their front storage trunk here, that's what the S in the A122S stands for, storage. You get this big, deep storage trunk, and you see it's all the way passed through. It has side access doors as well as that big flip top. Now in terms of storage, you see you have extra outdoor storage pockets to places like under your dinette and under your bed back here that other brands don't always offer on a comparable similar floor plan. And if you look down in here, you see how big this is? It actually holds both your power cord as well as a porta potty, and that comes standard with a non-bathroom model Rockwood Hardside. Another thing I like to point out, higher quality stabilizer jacks. You see scissor jacks on these, not stab leg jacks. Basically, in English, scissor jacks can hold more weight. That means more stability. And God forbid it ever happens, if you have a flat tire, the front and rear jacks used together can lift this trailer up off of one side just enough where you can change that tire. I hope you never have to do that, but man, it'll be nice if you do. Rockwood comes standard with a full RV cute grill. Not very aesthetically pleasing in the standard cardboard shipping box, but we keep everything as protected as we can until the day that it goes home. Now you notice it's kind of floating here over nothing. That's because Rockwood outside grills come standard with a little, just a utility tray in a sense. And it's not press board, it's not wood like most manufacturers use. It's actually, you know, molded resin material. The advantage of that is this thing sits outside. Most people leave that little table outside, and the moisture from the air seeps into that wood and causes it to swell because they're T-molding it. Long story short, there's a seam that the water can slip into, and it wrecks the countertop, so it's worthless. So you can mount the grill here, put the table beside it, flip your burger, have a place to set your spatula, and you can do it if you're right or left-handed because the propane connect is dead in the center of this thing. We're on a single rubberized torsion axle, not a leaf spring, so that's going to give you a better towing experience, and standard aluminum wheels look awesome. Inside and outside entertainment, this is your stereo speaker right here, and everyone always goes, what is this? That's your radio antenna. Moving around here, one thing I like to point out is the construction on these. It's fully vacuum laminated. You know, this is the same as this, This is built exactly like Rockwood's big fifth wheels and travel trailers. It's just a smaller package. They only build things one way at Rockwood. They have a giant lamination press that every single thing runs through. That's the only construction method that they use. Up here, even on the nose, normal, oh, by the way, the trailers, we like to order those with a power tongue jack. They come standard with this manual jack that you see right here. This trailer arrived off the truck an hour ago. We haven't put the power jack on it. Rockwood ships those loose. That's actually the brown box that you see right there is the power tongue jack. I simply pulled it out so you'd have room to see the interior. But do notice that you have twin propane tanks with an automatic changeover regulator on here. That's not something most pop-ups normally have, and that's what's interesting is this actually shares a lot of features with a travel trailer. So in a sense, you could almost call it a fold-down travel trailer as opposed to a pop-up camper. A lot of pop-ups don't have water heaters. This one has one standard. The one interesting thing about these is the only thing that would use gray water, meaning shower or sink runoff, is just the kitchen sink. So it does not have a gray tank. Instead, you just have a straight pipe outlet. There's a little adapter you can run down to a hose, to a bucket, to a blue tote tank, anything like that. Outside shower standard on these, and that'll let you clean up your campsite. Now what's cool is if you don't have an outside shower and you want to clean things up, you have to go over to the water spigot. You have to shut it off. You have to unscrew it. You have to hose down whatever you want. Shut it off. Screw it back onto the trailer. Turn it back on. It's a process. If you have an outside shower, you have a hose that also has hot water instead of just cold, and it can do all of that. extra storage pocket down here to your underbed storage, and spare tire is standard on Rockwood Hardside campers. Oh, real quick before I forget, this is a big part of the 15.5 update. Little assistance struts. They put these on here just to help in high wind situations when you're putting these up or taking these down. They've been building these for about 3 years, and just decided, just for the sake of being super safe, they'd put those on there. You know, we see a lot of wind here in Coldwater, Michigan. Never really been too much of a concern, but I can imagine when you're out west, it can be a big deal. Now, this is 2,099 pounds. Not very heavy. Let me let some light in here for you. So what's neat is this one has a full-time rear bed. I think it's slightly smaller than a standard queen, but a couple can sleep next to it. And you got to remember, you're going to pop up, you're camping. You need to make little accommodations now and then. But amazing things I like to talk about in here. LED lights, standard. You don't have incandescent bulbs that are going to go dark on you. Everyone always goes, what is this thing? And it's a little hanging rack for clothes. Just an extra spot to hang some extra clothes or towels or anything like that. You see little cargo nets for just little things like papers, envelopes, whatever little stuff you have. Now what's really cool is when you need to sleep and you need privacy, you have a shade. But when you don't need it, you can pull these open and just have lots of light. Now what's incredible is just the view right here. Imagine you're laying down at night and you're just looking up at the stars. Beautiful. Something that we like to add to these is the power ceiling vent fan. And that actually is one of 2 ways that you can cool this trailer. If you do not have access to 30 amp shore power, you can use this 12 volt vent fan to really push a lot of air. These things are incredible. If you've ever been in a fifth wheel one, you know what I mean. However, if you do have shore power, then you refer to this guy down here. This black box that looks like an air conditioner you put in your window at home. It looks like that because that's basically exactly what it is. It's a heat pump. It's bi-directional. You can either use it as an air conditioner or a furnace. It does both functions, but it is electric only. So what if it's cold and you're dry camping? Like let's say you're at hunting camp. Let's say it's really cold and you don't have power hookup. Well, we also install a gas furnace down here. It's a little dark. Let me add a little more light here. Just a moment, please. Okay. Hey, check that out. So this guy right here, propane furnace, adding a little bit of light. You see that we do have power outlets under here. The switch for your water heaters right down here. That box is your converter, by the way. And you see one of your 2 indoor speakers on the far end. Over here in the kitchen, we have a 3-way refrigerator, meaning 12 volt, shore power, or propane. What that means in English is cold, colder, coldest. Generally, they'll all keep, you know, a drink cooled down. If you want something really cold, you probably run it on propane. Again, your sink here does hook up to the water heater, so you can have hot water whenever you want. And last year, Rockwood went to this drop-in glass cooktop here. And it's so nice because when you're not using it, it is extra counter space. And when you are using it, it acts as a backsplash while you're cooking. Very cool stuff. Your front dinette here can fold down into an additional sleeping space. What's really cool is this big table here is freestanding. You can move it around wherever you want or simply fold it down for transit. There is storage, again, accessible from inside or outside under that bench right there. Now what's really cool, something I really like to show people, is they say, yeah, but due to this triangle shape, there's no way a person can sit over there. That's wasted space. And I beg to differ. I am 6'3". I'm a big person. I can scoot myself all the way over to the side here, and I can sit, play cards with people, not a problem. Because these skylights are deceptively deep. They are extremely deep. It's almost like sticking your head out of a bubble in a submarine. They're so deep. So much fun. But the best part about these, they're extremely, extremely easy to set up and tear down. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to do it in real time with only one hand. I'll tell you a trick. When you walk in the door, there's this hook to the left. That is the first one you want to undo, and the last one you want to do, unless you got really long arms. But again, being fully laminated, this stuff is really made well. Okay, Now we unlatch this when you see the wall comes in, but it's not heavy. You see, it's easy to put up and down. You need to unlatch the door, and that'll kind of push open. Now when we unlatch this wall, it's going to come in. You see that door right there? We're actually going to sneak right through it. Now it's as simple as just lifting up right here. Just enough to kind of get the underside here down and pull. And there you go. That's all there is to it. In less than 30 seconds with one hand and taking the time to explain it, you're on the road. It's that easy. Give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Thank you, everybody. Happy camping.